Okay, welcome back everyone. Welcome to a new trading week. This is Jeff here with FXMindshift, and this is your Sunday weekly review. So looking at the calendar this week, you guys can see the first thing on the agenda is that the US has now shifted daylight savings time on Sunday. If you guys are in the US, you guys have shifted your clocks backwards. So now we're back in line with the UK and Europe, and your charts should now all be aligned in terms of that hour gap if you guys were kind of messed up with that. So that's first. Monday, we've got no news here this week. Our big news is going to be on Thursday. You can see the GBP news. We've got monetary policy summary and the official bank rate votes, and we also have FOMC, which is normally on a Wednesday. But this week we've got it lumped together with the GBP news here. So that is going to be happening at 2 p.m. In the New York session, right? We also got this folder in here at New York Open, 8:30 for USD unemployment claims. Okay, that's what we usually have on Thursdays anyway. But, you know, FOMC combined with the GBP news on Thursday here in the New York session. New York should be a pretty volatile kind of minefield. So I would watch out on Thursday for trading in the New York session. Right, Friday we got no red news. Wednesday, no red news. Tuesday we have the presidential election. Okay, we are in the U.S. electing a new president, and so we got the presidential election and the congressional elections. So this week is going to be full of fun and lots of fireworks. I would say, you know, to largely stay out of the markets, you know, until all of this kind of stuff is blown over. So, you know, but if you are, you know, going to venture into the markets and, you know, take some risk, I would, heavily advise you to kind of half the risk or trade with, you know, a little bit less risk than you're used to this week. All right, so let's take a look at the charts. We're going to go over to the DXY monthly chart, okay, and start with our top-down analysis as we always do. So if we look at the monthly chart, we can see here that we are still inside of this big monthly consolidation. Worth noting how we ended the last month of October. We ended with a very bullish month, right? So continuing off of that momentum, you can see that November has started off bullish, and because the last kind of you know, liquidity that we took inside the range here was this internal low, okay, and moving back up, I'm, you know, fairly confident that we will continue to move up here in terms of the monthly chart and towards these highs. Okay, so we're looking for liquidity on the upside now, since we did sweep the ones below. So the nice little kind of 3-bar pattern back up, right? Continuation, the momentum from last month going forward. I'm expecting the dollar to continue to be bullish, and we're going to be looking for these highs here next. Okay, so around 105, 106 regions. Okay, 106.50 and thereabouts. All right. So a bullish continuation month. Let's go to the weekly chart. All right. And if you take a look at the weekly, right, you can see the nice big bullish momentum that we've been having week after week, right? Bullish weeks. Okay. Last week we did end off with kind of this doji candle here, right? So we did start to slow down and taper off a little bit. We did reach the highs, right? We did get above the highs here. So we got this high over here, and we've got the OB at the top of the range here that we can look for the next kind of, you know, momentum shift, right? So if this does in fact give us, you know, some slowdown here, right, and we start to make a swing high here, we will see price, you know, start to reject and come down. But as it is right now, we can follow or continue to follow this the bullish momentum here and look for price to continue to push upwards, right? Not too much that we can kind of you know, take from this perspective. So if we go down to the daily chart here, all right, and take a look, we can see that how we left off the week on Friday with the NFP move here. You can see there was such a bullish move here and close on Friday after coming down into this daily OB right here. Now we did start to make a swing high. We did react from the top of the range here, and we did come down. However, this movement here leads me to believe that we will basically kick off from here and continue to the upside. Now things could change, you know, once we get to the high here. We can see if we do end up taking it out. But as it is and as it looks right now, I would say that the order flow still remains bullish. right? And as we've seen from the weekly and the monthly, order flow is certainly still bullish on the higher time frames. We would expect this to continue to the upside here based off of this, last kind of bullish day, this bullish close, and after the NFP news move. So if we drop down to the 4 hour, okay, we can see here this candle, right, is that NFP candle. So what we essentially did, right, we did make a attempt at a reversal. Okay, we did have a 4 hour change of character. We can see lots of wicks making its way down here, but when we got to at NFP on Friday, we saw a very nice looking spike down below here, swept liquidity, traded right into this nice big imbalance and OB area, and then we shot right back up with a nice big bullish move back to the upside. So this leads to me believe that we have some manipulation here, right? We actually came down, we triggered the breakout sellers, right? And we also manipulated stops below the area, and then we bought back up with a lot of momentum, some strong momentum. So I'm going to be looking for the momentum to continue, right? I'm going to be looking for price to continue to run and take out the highs above here, 104.65 and then beyond. Okay, so I'll be looking for price to continue. If it does kind of come back into the range, we'll look for this area here to hold. Okay, we've got the OB at the bottom of the range, so we'll look for something like this, and then the continuation. All right, so that's kind of my idea for DXY to show me this week. And of course, we've got a circus of events and, some economic, calendar events on the docket. We've got the elections, we've got, the GBP news, and we also have FOMC. So we have a lot of, kind of monkey wrenches we can throw into the mix, to kind of, mess up the charts this week. So trade with caution. All right. Let's go over to EU next. From a monthly perspective, okay, so on the flip side, we have the monthly consolidation, we have the monthly highs manipulated, the internal highs here manipulated, and then the strong shift down this way. Okay, so as we close the month of October with a big bearish candle, you can see the momentum has continued into the month of November, and we would expect price to continue now down through to the next low area here, right? So this area down here, we've got about 106. Big figure, so nice big round number that we can reach for. We are trading back into this monthly OB, right? And so, it's possible that we also, form a swing low here and continue back up in this bullish kind of range, right? And that's likely in the fact that we still have, kind of bullish internal structure going on here, right? This does look like, kind of a consolidation accumulation for a breakout above. So we'll have to see if we do actually get the run below the low here. But for sure, right now, we're still following the bearish momentum down into the OB area here. We still got a lot of room to kind of work with here before we actually break it. So there's still certainly some room to the downside here that EU can draw down into. So if we go down to the weekly chart, okay, we can see that we have taken out the internal low over here, right, which we were previously bullish in terms of structure, but we have a change of character below, right, and we have a bearish move down, so the momentum is still bearish for the weekly. However, the last week we ended with kind of a bullish note here, right, so we kind of traded inside the range. We weren't able to take out this low here, okay, but we did trade into the weekly OB and we took out this internal low in the process, right? So we do have sort of like a bullish reaction here. So now if we drop down to the daily and we take a look at the daily chart, all right, what we can see is that price is trading back now into this daily bullish order block here after we swept this big low. Okay, so the attempt here to go lower failed. We can see price held the low, and so now the retracement back into this structure and swing low here. If we can get price to do this and back up, right, to trade further up into the range, or if price will break through the low here, then we would expect price to continue bearish from here and put in the lower high and continue down. Right, so those are the options we're looking at, and those are the scenarios we're looking at for longer term. Let's drop down to the 4 hour chart, okay, and we can see here from the daily OB area. I would be looking at price coming back into the previous change of character high here. So this would essentially be like an H4 zone flip area, where we'd expect price now to basically hold here, okay, and then give us a move up. So I would be very watchful of this area, and the price level here is around 108.20s, 108.30s, okay, and I would be looking for something like this where we get a reaction and a move back up, right, to continue in the bullish uptrend. So let's see if we get that this week. All right, keep an eye on this level here for EU. Let's go over to GU next. All right, now for GU, you can see in the monthly chart we had a nice reaction to the monthly OB and this big bearish shift, right? So we closed the month of October bearish, just like we did in EU. Right, and unfortunately, unlike EU, we have kind of more of a bullish start to the month here, but it's not really that strong. You know, it's just kind of a doji candle here that we have. So we would see if price continues down into the bullish OB area here, the monthly OB, right, and then continue in the uptrend, just like we would expect for EU, right? Sort of the same kind of idea. You know, trading down into this monthly OB area, forming the swing low, and then seeing price move up after that. So if we go to the weekly chart and we take a look at that, how would that form on the weekly? Okay, we can see here that we have the weekly change of character down, right? Because we did not hold the last higher low that we made here. We have a shift in the momentum, okay, and a big bearish move down to the imbalance area and the OB at the bottom here. So we'd be looking for price to hold this area. Okay, and if I go back and I put the monthly OB zone back on, it's this area here. So we could be looking at price actually coming back to the lower region here and taking all of these lows as sort of a liquidity inducement, right? So I would be looking for price to hold the area, but I would not be surprised if price were to come down and take all this area out as well. But again, I would also encourage you guys to look at the area where we're seeing some rejection right now is a monthly zone flip area. Okay, so this area here could project a bullish reaction. Okay, might not get down here, but currently where we're at right now, we can see there's a nice big bullish reaction to this wick that it left behind last week. So if we drop down to the daily chart, okay, we can see here that we did not get a candle close below that zone. Okay, and we did trade into a nice OB area right here. Drop the daily on here, right there, okay, and we did get the reaction from that monthly zone flip level, right, and we have the reaction back to the upside. So nice bullish candle close that we had on Friday there, right, and then tapping into that area and seeing if price is going to go up now, or are we going to respect the highs and keep below the swing low that we made. So if we go to the 4-hour chart and we take a look at the 4-hour, okay, we can see a nice kind of rejection spike down and then a spike back up. So fast down, fast up, rejection. That to me is always signatures of manipulation, right? And stop hunting. So we came down, we stop hunted the lows, right? We traded into that monthly zone flip area, and we had this nice big reaction to the OB and the imbalance up here at the top of the range, right? Now we do have a nice rejection from that area. So if price is going to be bearish, we should see price just continue now down through this low. If we see any kind of resistance here and we start to consolidate down here, we start to find it hard to trade below that level, I think we'll see signs of reversal back up. Okay, and that will be if we are unable to take out this low. So this will be an important level to watch going into this week, right? And keep in mind that we have the GBP news, right, on Thursday, and also to kind of you know, fuel this move, whatever the move happens to be, right? So keep this in mind. Let's go over to gold next. All right, now gold on the monthly has been just a bullet train to the upside, right? It just is an unstoppable force. We didn't quite reach the 2800. I thought we would get to that 2800 level, but you can see that once we got just shy of it, we started to retrace and fall back, right? So we ended the month of October bullish, right? Now we start the month here, we closed below last month's candle, and we're starting our way down. So we could see a bearish month, or we should see, you know, price at least start to retrace from the level here, right? And we can drop down to the lower time frames to see how this kind of develops. Weekly, we can see just the pin bar at the top of the range. Okay, that's also indicative of potentially a reversal here, although it's not really that great of a confirmation, right? But we will see, you know, price at least start to retrace back into the range a little bit. We've got this imbalance here, right? And we've got this imbalance down here. So there's two areas where we could see price now start to kind of come back into the range a little bit more of a, you know, kind of retracement than these, hopefully, right? If this does turn out to be a retracement. But as of the monthly and the weekly, we can see that it's just bullish, right? So if we go to the daily chart and we take a look at the daily, now we start to see some signs of price breaking down, right? We can see that we have now a very nice bullish engulfing candle here, right? And then Friday's continuation, right? Although we did not take out the low here, right? So that's kind of not that great, but it was a bearish candle. We opened very much lower than the previous day. We closed here, down here at the lows here, right? So we're looking for price to kind of start its breakdown back into the range here, at least into the discount of this, you know, this bigger range here. Okay. And so I would expect price to, like, you know, come down at least to maybe the mitigation of the high over here, just below the range. So coming down to around 26.85 would not be out of the question, and breaking down further. If we go to the 4-hour chart, okay, what we can see is we have a very nice looking head and shoulders pattern here, right? And we can see that the shoulders here are aligned, and we have a little stop hunt just above the left shoulder, which we love to see, with this nice bearish candle, this bearish engulfing reaction. So I'll be looking for price to take out the lows here and here next, and then trade down right into that, the mitigation of that high, that level here. So 26.85 below 2700. That would be the direction I would take gold this week, right? Keying off of this, this move right here. Okay, so maybe we open the week a little bit higher, but I want to see price respect the level here and then come down to here and then maybe give us a bounce. Okay, so that is the plan for gold. Let's go over to, last but not least, NASDAQ, right? So NASDAQ on the monthly has also been super bullish, right? But we can see that price is starting to, you know, starting to fade, starting to slow down, right? The momentum is starting to get killed. We did not make another high, you know, here, right? So we did hold below the all-time highs there, and then we closed the month bearish, right? And this month we're starting below previous month's high, and we're just kind of trading inside of last month's range. Okay, so we'll see how this kind of develops, how we expand either to the upside or the downside, right? From the weekly perspective, what we can see is that we have a weekly high that has been respected, right, at the very top of the range. And we can see last week we did close with a bearish candle, right? So we could see a double top here. We could see an M structure being formed. If we do in fact see another shift to the downside, then we can start looking to hunt for those lows, you know, if we see a bigger shift. This is not really that great of a confirmation just yet, but certainly a good indication of a bearish move down, right? Now, if we go to the daily chart, right, and we take a look at the daily, we can see even more, you know, the development of the breakdown. Okay, we can see price has rejected the high of the range here, and we have a nice shift in momentum, bearish candles, bearish engulfing candles with a daily change of character also to the downside, breaking this low, whereas previously we weren't able to break any kind of internal lows as we were climbing higher, right? So a big shift along with the change of character gives me great hope that we're going to see price now continue downward. So the retracement back up into here, maybe trading back to the daily OB, right, giving us the lower high here and then forming that right shoulder down into the lower ranges here, right? So that's kind of how I'd like to see this play out. If we go down to the 4-hour chart, okay, what we can see here is a nice 4-hour break of structure, which is also something we did not see previously. When we did get the change of character, these were just wick closures. You can see that we've never actually closed below with the candle bodies. But this case here, we finally get a candle body close, right? And obviously we get a reaction from that, because after we take out a significant low, we're going to expect price to pull back. And so that's what we're seeing here. So the pullback here has reached the OB here, right? And we'll see if that's enough, or we could possibly also run a little bit higher. If we do, there's another area here where we got the change of character would give us another reaction if we do get that high, right? But I would expect something like that to give us a reaction, and then the continuation down after that, right? So we'll see how this plays out. Of course, this is going to be interesting to watch because of the presidential elections and also because of FOMC. So this week is a veritable landmine if you guys are trading, commodities, indices, that kind of stuff. So be careful. But that is going to be the rundown for this week. Okay, short and sweet today. If you guys have any questions at all on this, go ahead and drop some comments below the video or message me directly on Telegram. There's a link below in the description for those of you that have not joined our free membership yet. We got lots of videos, tutorials, resources for you guys as a free member, and you'll also get first dibs on these videos as I post them before I post them to the YouTube channel. So you'll get first crack at these. Otherwise, there's also a link to the VIP. If you guys are interested in that, you'll get my daily breakdowns, my analysis for the week instead of just the weekly reviews. And you'll also get to be in the VIP community with us, and the live trading sessions on the weekends as well. We go over, and hone the skills to help you with your trading and further your journey. So if you guys are interested in that, the links are going to be below in the description. I definitely would recommend you guys sign up for the free membership if you haven't already. But that's going to do it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a great trading week. This week is going to be dangerous to be trading, but like I said, trade with half risk if you need to, or at least less risk than you're used to. All right, guys, good luck with your trades. We'll see you on the next video. Good luck.
Feel me.